So, hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Divine Rebel. My name is Racey, and I'm going to be giving the message for you today. They are general messages, so take them as they resonate and leave them if they don't. If they don't force them to fit, okay? There are plenty of other wonderful readers that just might resonate more with you at this time. For those of you not familiar with me or the channel, I have no filter and I don't sugarcoat my messages. So if that is not your thing, or you have children around, or you just don't appreciate, that kind of a reading, I'm very respectful of that. I'm giving you the opportunity to sign off now. Otherwise, this is for Scorpio suns and those with significant or strong Scorpio placements in their chart. If you know what house Scorpio rules and what's in there, this might be able to give you some very specific insight into a certain area of your life. Okay? So, with that said, Scorpio, I'm using my Icarus Tarot, my Naked Heart Tarot, and my Sacred Rebel Oracle. All right? So, starting off, Spirit, please. For Scorpio, what is the overall archetypal milestone that they're going to be going through for the month of September? Scorpio and Scorpionic energies. What is going on? What is the archetypal milestone? All right. So I got 3. The Hermit flew out, and it came out in the reverse. This is the second time the Hermit's come out in the reverse today, and I put it back in the deck upright. All right, so you might want to watch Virgo's reading, especially if you have strong Virgo placements or if you're dealing with a Virgo. All right, or someone with strong Virgo in their chart. This is about coming out of the dark night. This is about September being a month where you get to essentially, because it comes out with the Sun and the Temperance. It came out on, well, the Sun flipped out on the top of the deck and the Temperance flipped up on the bottom of the deck. So I think the overall thing for you, Scorpio, is you feel like you're coming out of this dark night. You feel like you're shining. You feel like your whole world is just wonderful and everything is alchemizing, right? Everything is falling into place, right? There's nothing falling apart. Everything is falling into place. Your energy is on fucking fire, right? Your energy is lit and it's on fire, especially if you're dealing with a Leo or Sag or have strong Leo Sag placements in your chart. I think that you know that you're coming out of a very testing period of self, having to do a lot of inner work, and finally coming out of the inner work, right? Finally being free of it. So Spirit, for Scorpio, give me some more insight, please. What is going on for the month of September that we have this wonderful energy? I feel like Scorpio is birthing themselves, right? It's like that Phoenix Rise energy where everything is just kind of peaking. Everything is peaking. The light of someone's life. The light of someone's life. You make them feel balanced. Okay. What else is going on for Scorpio Spirit? Going on with Scorpio. Okay. Clarify the 5 of Wands, please. All right. All right. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. Top of the deck is the 7 of Wands. All right, so Scorpio, you might be consciously defending something or standing up for yourself, and love is on the way, right? A new emotional cup, love is on the way. We start out the month with the Empress clarified by the 8 of Swords. So this is someone, and whenever I see this card, I think this is someone who is ready to settle into a family but doesn't necessarily have any strong family ties of their own. Only because it's a fruitless tree. It's a lifeless tree that's coming from her. She hasn't actually, it doesn't have to be actual like people, family, children, but it could be not having left their mark on the world yet, right? And having some anxiety about it. Knowing that you have more to give, right? More to create, and not knowing how to do that. It's almost like wanting to be passionate and not being able to, or wanting to have kids and not being able to, or being in your mind about whether you will or won't ever have kids, right? Now, the Five of Wands comes next, which is being internally conflicted, right? And that could come out as nitpicking or being petty with someone else, right? Like poking or prodding, or someone poking or prodding you and like getting on your nerves, trying to make you tick, or you're trying to make someone snap. It's almost like, you know, you do something to, or say something that's kind of not thoughtful, right? You didn't really think about it before it was said, and it creates a tension. Or you're just straight up internally conflicted about something in the past, right? And I'm just seeing the synchronicities between that and this sun energy, like this fiery ball. And I feel like you want to shine, and I think that it's coming from your conflict, right? You want to shine, and it's coming from this internal conflict, because what the conflict is, we have the Four of Cups with the Six of Coin, the Justice card, and the Eight of Cups. I think you're wondering if you're missing on opportunities to give and receive, or if you're giving too much of yourself to the wrong person, place, or circumstance. And with Justice and the Eight of Cups, you're wondering if it's fucking fair if you walk away and put your emotions and invest them elsewhere, because it's not fulfilling, right, Scorp? I think that what you're conflicted about, because if you do want to have children, or you don't feel like you have any room to grow, right, with that Empress card and the Eight of Swords, you might be wondering if you're really missing on an opportunity for justice and walk away because you want to have children, you want to have a family, you want to have the growth, you want to have the legacy, right? Scorpio rules the 8th house of inheritance and legacy. You want the 8th house. You don't know if you're going to get it. You don't know if you're going to get it, and you're conflicted about whether or not you're really missing opportunities elsewhere, or if you should stay put and give to it, if it's going to rebalance itself, or if you should leave. We get the Three of Wands with the Hanged Man. One is a movement card, and one is a stagnation card. So, and one is spiritual, and one is very in the subconscious and the depths of the self. I think you have to move away from your shadows. I think you have to move away from stuck thinking. I don't think it's the imbalance here. Whatever this conflict is that you're having, it's coming from your own mind and your own spirit, okay? I think you might be projecting it at something or someone else, but I don't think it actually comes down to whether or not you can create what you want to create or not, because you can create what you want to create. I think you're telling yourself you can't. And because you're telling yourself, no, I can't, no, it might not be possible, no, it's not going to work, I think that's why you end up moving on. And when you move forward, I think that's when you get the perspective shift. Like, your internal conflict is your own. You're either going to let it like rile you up and burn you, or you're going to turn it into a portal energy and say, no, I'm not getting sucked into this vortex of inner punishment, right? Punishing myself internally, thinking that I'm not creating what I want to create, when you are. I think you have to get out of toxic thinking, because the whole world wants to open up, right? It wants to, you're coming out of this dark night, as we go back to, you know, your major archetypal milestone. You're coming out of your dark night. So the universe is the dark, right? It's almost like you're about to escape the dark and reach the light. You're literally there. Like, Temperance is usually the guardian angel card. You know, you have your angels. You are about to get the fuck out of this dark night. And it's like the darkness is trying to pull you back in. Pulling you back in, saying, well, I don't know if I'll ever create what I want to create with this person. I don't know if they're ready. I don't know if they'll ever be ready. I don't know if I blah, 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 blah. Like, stop. Don't control it, Scorpio. Don't control it. Don't control it. Don't let the conditions of why you want to be with somebody or don't want to be with somebody take away from the fact that you might actually love someone or not love someone. Like, it's great if you want kids. Doesn't mean you want them with just anybody, right? And if the person you want to have kids with is not ready or does not want them, well, then you have to really decide, what do you really want? Do you really want kids, or do you really want that person? Because they're not aligned. And you've got to decide. You've got to decide. And you can't decide, well, fingers crossed, well, maybe they will one day. No, you will sabotage yourself that way, Scorp. So, figure out what it is that you really, really want. More than anything. Person, place, experience, whatever. Figure out what it is that you really, truly want. And then accept that it's not aligned with everything else right now, and that's okay. And if you're meant to have kids, you're meant to have kids. If you're not meant to have kids, you're not meant to have kids. If you're meant to go into this career, then you're meant to go into that career, and if you're not, you're not. You know, you choose what to put your focus on and move forward with away from the I can'ts or it's not possibles. Everything is possible, first off. Everything is possible. If you think it's impossible, then it is. If you think it's possible and you think that this light that you got and these guardian angels that you got and coming out of the dark night with all the information that you have about yourself and all of the balance that you've achieved throughout the process, if you want to create the motherfucking best new love, someone who makes an effort, right, who comes forward with the Ace of Cups, who knows how to move forward from hard times and not leave you broken and giving you a sense of home. Like, if you want it, it's possible. Can't fall into your own shadow thinking that puts you in spots you don't want to be in, with thoughts you don't want to have. I think you're conflicted about if someone's going to give you what you want or not. No, it doesn't matter if they give you what you want or not. You can have what you want or not. You don't have to have kids with somebody to have kids. They could say, well, I don't want to have kids. You can say, okay, well, one of these days I'm going to adopt. I hope that's okay. If you stick with me, know that. I do want to have kids. So if you don't want to have any with me, that's fine. I'm still going to have kids. And if you want to be with me, be with me. And if you don't, don't. But I want to have kids. It doesn't have to be with you. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, you just figure out what you want. The right person will stay. The one that's not aligned will leave. It's fine. It's fine. You do what you want. You create what you want. You make the effort to have the stable beginnings, right? You make the efforts with your own thoughts, bringing in solid thoughts. Solid thoughts create a solid foundation, right? No matter what it is, business, love, family, doesn't matter. Efforts required. Efforts required. All right, Spirit, what's the guidance? It's too many. For Scorpio, for September. Yeah, releasing allegiances and going beyond normal. Card 10 and card number 14. So you might be seeing 141. Or 114 or 144, you know, different combinations of ones and fours. All right, Scorp. Releasing allegiances is letting go of old beliefs or people tied to old energy who keep you stuck in old versions of yourself. You've got to let go of the part of yourself that doesn't want to be vulnerable, that sees things in black and white and doesn't look at the beautiful, shiny, gold little nuggets, right, that were in the experience. Releasing toxic beliefs that you picked up along the way from people you were loyal to, right? Whether it was family, friends, co-workers, social networks, whatever, friends, it doesn't matter. You felt like you were taught a certain way about either relationships or how to live life or how people are. And I think this is more about releasing the belief in your armor, that your armor is protecting you. That your need to... It's almost like knowing you love your partner and you trust your partner, but you're going to go through their phone anyway, just to see and make sure. Well, the toxic belief, one, is that it's okay to go through your partner's phone and find out. Because if you got to do that, there's an issue. Not necessarily with them, but with you and your trust issues. You know what I mean? Well, I just want to be 100%. Well, I just want to be certain. Well, maybe you shouldn't be with that person. You shouldn't violate their privacy. You should trust them or not be with them, right? So what belief from the past, what scar from the past would have you validate that that's all right, so that you sabotage yourself? Dishonoring someone that you care about, right? You have to realign yourself. You have to realign yourself, going beyond normal. This card, she has the key of truth hanging from her lip. It's only a matter of time before the third eye's vision or the epiphany comes in from the divine that says, aha. It's only a matter of time. You're being divinely protected, Scorpio. You just got to relax. Don't let your thoughts, don't let your conflicting thoughts tell you that you are not receiving enough or that you're not getting what you want. You're getting all of these things that you do like and all of these things that you do want to have in your life. You know, you have all of these characteristics in it or all of these elements to it, but you don't have this one, so I don't know. Should I leave it? Should I let it go? Is it worth it? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. You tell me. If you meet the perfect fucking dude and he can't have kids because he's sterile by default with some nature thing, you know, that it's just him, well, what the fuck? He's the most perfect person. But you want to have your own kid? Like, you're going to have to find solutions. You're going to have to find solutions. I promise you, that guy that has everything in the world except the ability to give you kids would be totally worth loving, and he'd probably greatly appreciate it. Being loved. Despite the fact, you know, there's things he can't change. Right? As an example. As an example. Right? Just an example. It's kind of like that. If you're dead set on controlling it to have it a certain way, or look a certain way, or be a certain way, and not look to other solutions, then you've already lost. Then you've already lost. All right, this is about thinking outside of your box, trusting in the divine, trusting your words, right? Don't slip and say some shit that's thoughtless or inconsiderate and might peg somebody the fuck off because, you know, you're secretly upset inside about what you're not getting. Don't let your secret disappointments in there upset what you could actually be creating that your mind would be getting in the way from. Okay? Because this is excellent. This is excellent. Do not forget you're coming out of this energy. Don't fall back into it. Right? Consider this the biggest blessing because you already know you're being tested. You already know you're trying to get sucked into old patterns, old ways of thinking that would totally ruin what the fuck you want to actually have. Right? Stay on point, Scorp. Stay on fucking point. Trust your gut. Trust your intuition. Trust your vision. Trust what it is you want to create, and don't get stuck in the past. All right? Divine Rebel Racey loves you, and I'm signing out until next time, guys. Remember always to love each other, and most importantly, love yourselves. Bye, everybody.